applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
Yes sir, yes sir. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of BWT. I'm your host, Teddy, and today we got some guests here with me to go over the top 5 at every position with the season starting up next week, next Thursday. It's been a long wait. We had a little soft opening day in Tokyo between the Dodgers and the Cubs. The Dodgers winning the first 2 games. Cubs look bad. Dodgers just continue to roll. But how we doing, fellas?
I'm great, man. Like I just finished doing the Miami Heat podcast on Miami Heat Zone. So I'm just here to talk about baseball. I'm here to talk about something a lot more fun. That one was a little stressful. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Miami Heat on a 9-game losing streak. I ain't happy about that right now. So
I love hearing that. I love it.
Yeah, you know what? That's you. Just to keep it clean. But other than that, I'm excited. Finally get to talk about baseball. It's been a good little while since I've been on here, so I'm always excited to be here. So let's get it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Teddy. I appreciate it. Excited. Best time of the year is coming back. It's like Christmas all over again, you know what I'm saying? But it's a full season of it. So, and I'm much more excited about where the Red Sox are this year compared to last year.
We back in business.
I know Teddy's shaking in his boots this season, as he should be. The Red Sox are knocking on the door. Let's go.
The Yankees got the padlock on it. You're not coming in anytime soon, all right?
Hey, 12-12 this spring, dude. Not looking too good, buddy.
It's spring, dude. I don't really care.
Oh, here we
go. But before we get into the rankings, let's make sure that everybody is subscribing to this channel and liking this video, sharing it with any baseball fans that you may know. Also subscribing to the rest of the shows on the Refuse to Lose network. We've got Dave's Doghouse. Dave, give us a quick rundown of your show.
So what I do is I do basically the highlights and lowlights of everybody in sports. We're in season 2 right now, and I'm pretty much just doing all basketball related. So anything in college basketball or women's basketball like WNBA or Unrivaled League that just finished. I just finished talking about Chelsea Gray, who I believe is the point guard in WNBA. So if you go check out my channel, you'll see that. And like I said, sooner or later, baseball is gonna be on there because baseball starts next week. So just make sure if you want to see some lowlights or some highlights and me go crazy, check out Dave's Doghouse.
Yep. And then we got CTC, Carl Talking College. March Madness has tipped off today. Had a couple upsets. Creighton, McNeese pulling off the upsets. High Point couldn't pull it off for your boy, but I will cry later. So make sure you tune into that. He also does college football as well with the draft coming up. He usually hosts a draft show. I'll probably be on that with the Patriots having the number 4 pick. Dave will also be on that. So that's exciting every year. And then we have Unfazed with Joe and AJ, a great show. 2 guys that are probably some of the top debaters in the Refuse to Lose community, and they go head to head. They are rivals in each sport, basketball and football. So that can get heated as well. They go live once a week, every Tuesday at 9 Eastern Standard Time. And then we have FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. He's the most animated dude in the Refuse to Lose community. Make sure you go check him out if you are a fantasy player. He gives rankings and all that type of stuff that you see on TV. He gives it to you raw and uncut.
Pause.
and then we have in the red corner, which is with Tomo, Ty, and Ricky. Boxing show, great show, one of the hottest shows on the network. As far as subscribers go, help them continue to reach their goals. Tune into, I know somebody just signed for a rematch, so that'll be fun to watch.
Devin Haney and dang, what's that boy name?
Ryan Garcia.
Yes.
So that'll be fun. And then RBO, Real Ballers Only, NBA show. NBA is getting close to the playoffs, so teams are starting to ramp up now. Make sure you tune into that so we keep you updated in that world. And then we also have the main show, Refuse to Lose. That's with Dave, Tomo, and Joe. It's basically the sports center of the Refuse to Lose network. They cover all sports, and they go live every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in. Give everybody a subscribe and share each channel. You can click the link in the bio to subscribe, and you won't miss another episode. And stay in tune with the sports world. So now we get into the good stuff. We had a couple guys on MLB Network give out some rankings that I did not agree with. They were a little crazy with who they had at their top. They did top 10. We're gonna do it top 5, and then when we get to the outfielders, we will do top 10. So we'll start off with pitchers, starting pitchers. Jovan, who you got? Since you're the pitcher, you're the expert here.
Yeah. So just going off of last season and who I think is going to carry it over into this year,
Yep.
I had Tariq Skubal going in for another great year this year.
Mhm.
Paul Skeens, another one. Just those two can be interchangeable for me. I did try to keep it, ranking 1 through 5 here, just to be clear.
Okay.
I added my guy Garrett Crochet in there. I think he's going to have an unbelievable season this year, and I think he's going to hunt down that Cy Young. At 4, I had Chris Sale, and then at 5, I had Zach Wheeler.
Ooh, that's a good list. That's a good
I
list.
like that.
That's a
I
good
like
list.
Who you got, Dave?
All right, so although I love my brand new pitcher, I don't have him in the top 5 right now, but I love him. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy you in Boston. My top 5, we agree. I definitely have Tariq Skubal as number 1 right now. I think he had a phenomenal season last year. No pitcher had a better season than him last year, so I automatically put him number 1. 2, I was going to put Garrett Cole up there, but I think he's starting off. He had Tommy John surgery, so
Emotional damage.
So it's the only reason why he's not there is because he out. But Garrett Cole was definitely a thought on my list. Paul Skeens is number 2 right now. I just think he's stuck in Pittsburgh. He just stuck there right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully they put some talent around him so we won't say that he's stuck there and he actually can get some wins under his belt and some playoff appearances. So hopefully they do that for him. Chris Sale, I have him as 3rd. Boy, the boy's good. There's one thing I can say. He had another great season last year. Wish that he was still with the Red Sox and playing well, but we know he had injuries, so we kind of had to move on. I also have Zach Wheeler there at 4. I have Blake. I have Corbin Burns at 5. That's who I
Mm.
have. I like what he did in Arizona last year, and I think he'll have another phenomenal year this year too.
Yeah, me and Dave pretty much got the same list. But I changed up Chris Sale and Paul Skeens. I got Screwball at 1, Sale at 2, because
Mm-hmm.
those two guys, they won Triple Crown last year as pitchers, and that's remarkable. And then they both ended up winning the Cy Young as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Paul Skeens at 3, Zach Wheeler at 4, and Corbin Burns at 5. Um, Burns going to a pitcher's ballpark is going to help him out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, he lit up the long ball a little bit. Um, so for him to be playing in Arizona now with that pitching staff too, that pitching staff is going to be a good one. It's probably top 10 in the league. You can maybe make an argument for top 5 as well in the league. Um, and then hopefully they can turn up, because last year they missed the playoffs by 1 game, and they started off really slow on that World Series hangover. I don't know what it was, but they lost out on Christian Walker, but they added Josh Naylor, so that can help them out.
Yeah,
Um,
that I think that'll definitely help them out. But
yeah,
they started slow because, like you said, World Series hangover. That's why.
yep,
That was
yep,
the answer for everything.
yep, yep. All right. Now we go to the relievers. We combine the relievers and the closers. Dave, you can start this one off.
All right, so I who made my list? Number one is Mason Miller to me.
Mm,
Mason Miller is one of the best pitchers, one of the best relief pitchers I've seen in baseball, especially with what he did last year. It's just it was really good to see someone on that team actually play well, because we know what we when we talked about the athletics, it was never really something that's good. And now that they're moving to another state, hopefully they put some better talent around. And actually, the athletics pitching was actually really well last year,
yes.
surprisingly. Like as a team, it was actually pretty good. It's just that they were the ace, so they didn't really go anywhere. But Mason Miller's definitely he's top for me right now. Devin Williams for New York, I think he's a, a really great pitcher. As much as I don't like to talk about anybody at the Yankees, I got to give him his just due. I definitely put him up there. I also have Tanner Scott up there. I have Tanner Scott at third for the Dodgers. I mean, look at what he did for them. So definitely can see him having that same season again this year. I like Iglesias out of with the Braves. I have him at 4. So
Okay.
someone that I paid more attention to last season, and then I got K Smith for the Indians at 5.
Ooh, I think you messed up there with the name and the team name as well. They're the Guardians now.
Guardians, sorry, well, I apologize. The Guardians.
and
I definitely
I think
apologize.
and by the name I mean you messed up not adding Emmanuel Clase on that list. Emmanuel
He's Emmanuel
Emmanuel
Clase.
Clase.
Emmanuel Clase is. I have both of them right there with each other, so it was between the
Yeah,
two.
I gotta go. Emmanuel Clase at 1. He was one of the most dominant pitchers. He was in contention for Cy Young. You never see that coming from a closer. So he was extremely dominant. Was up there with Mariano Rivera type numbers, and Mariano Rivera was unanimous to get to the Hall of Fame. One of the best closers of all time. And for him to be in that conversation is huge. So he deserves that respect, and you disrespect him a little bit, Dave. It's kind of messed up, man.
Hey,
Um,
I, I can admit when I mess up. I can admit when I mess up.
and then we got Mason Miller. His his pitches are disgusting. Um,
I
uh,
wish he
the
was with the Red Sox.
the that page on Instagram, the Pitching Ninja, when they show the tunnel of every pitch, dude, it's like I don't understand how people even get a hit or how they see these pitches coming out of his hand, but his he's disgusting. And then I got Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals at 3. And then I got Tanner Scott, the only guy that was able to get Shohei Ohtani out um, last year is now his teammate. So
Mhm.
the league's in trouble. And then Devin Williams, number 5, one of the top closers uh, in the game. Two of these closers last year, they ended their season not how they wanted to end it. Devin Williams ended up giving up that home run to Pete Alonso in that deciding game 3 of the NLDS, and Clase got shelled against the Yankees. That it was game 4 or 5 where he let up that a 2-run home run by Judge, and then Stanton followed up right behind him. But that was just something you didn't really see out of those guys last year, and
Yeah,
it just so
I,
happened that it happened on
that
the
that
biggest stage.
that played into a little bit of my reasoning of having the other one over top of him. Not
Yeah.
saying that he ain't great because he is. Don't get me wrong, but I
Yep.
was just like, man, those two were huge, huge mess ups for him.
Yeah. But who did you have from the Guardians again?
Smith.
Smith. I believe that's the guy who let that home run up off of Soto. So that
Well,
should
one
if you
to
held
two.
it if you held it against if you held it against Class A, you should hold it against this guy as well.
That was one
Uh,
to two. So what number's bigger? Two.
Jovan, what you got?
Hey, and don't worry, we're not going to cancel you for saying Indians, Dave.
Please don't. Please don't.
And that Juan Soto home run was worse than the Mayo Class A's performance, so I'll just say that too.
You're supposed to be on my side, man. You see
Hey,
what I got in the background. You're supposed to be on my side, man.
I got you. I got you. Hey, you're never on my side of the fence.
That's right.
So
That's
don't start
right.
begging
That's
now.
right.
Don't start begging now. Hey,
Okay, my
but
bad. Call me red-handed. My bad. My bad.
so the top 5 closers I went with. I started off with Manuel Class A's number 1. I went with Mason Miller at number 2. I went with Tanner Scott at number 3.
Mm,
Number 4, I went with Devin Williams. And then number 5, Ryan Helsley.
okay. So we
Um,
had the same top 5, just mixed up a little bit.
mhm.
Um,
We're not always gonna agree on everything. It's okay.
Yeah.
then now we go to the catchers. I'll start this one off. Number 1, Adley Rutschman from the Orioles. Um, Kid's gross, switch hitting catcher. He's led his team since he was one of the top prospects in baseball. They haven't had the postseason success that they want, but I'm sure it's going to come down the road. Hopefully, not that soon down the road because, they're in our division, so we don't really want to see that. And then I got to go with William Contreras from the Brewers. That kid is gross. He does everything top tier. He can hit. The kid can. His arm is a cannon behind the plate. He has good control of the game, which is what you want coming out of your catcher. And then 3, I gotta go Will Smith from the Dodgers. He really
Mhm.
turned up last year, hitting the ball at extremely good rate. As catchers, you don't really see good hitting catchers in the league, and for him to be able to command the pitching staff and go out every day and hit the way that he hit behind, it definitely benefited him hitting behind Otani, Betts, and Freeman and Teoscar Hernandez every day. But he definitely took advantage of it because he could have been the guy that just folded, but he wasn't
Yeah,
that guy.
he definitely could have dropped the ball, but he decided to step up and actually handle his business.
Yep. And then for number 4, I got Carl Raleigh from the Mariners. He can hit. This dude can hit. We talking about hitting catchers not being known in the league. This guy is known for his hitting. Defense comes second. He plays it at an okay rate. You're not gonna really talk about him like throwing out runners and stuff like that. But he's also a little cocky dude. He had that comment last year about the Astros when he hit a walk off, and then on the field press conference he was like, "Oh, it's fun to see the Astros lose." And then the Mariners started to go downhill, losing a 10-game lead in the division. So maybe next time you should just shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Um, and then number 5, I got JT Realmuto from the Phillies. He's always been a top catcher in the league. He's one of the fastest catchers in the league, and he also plays defense really well. And I've been watching him in the offseason. He said he changed up his offseason training, started doing more like plyo stuff to be more flexible and stuff like that, to be able to be behind the plate and do everything that a catcher needs. So I think he's gonna be a big part of the Phillies' success this year.
Oh,
Jovan,
so
what
so
you got?
he ain't shave his hips like the dude from Duke did. He ain't do that.
Oh, Jesus, man, don't get me started on that kid.
Go ahead,
Crazy.
Jovan.
And for me, you and I, Teddy, we're definitely off a little bit. So number one catcher I got is Cal Riley. I mean, dude, his swing is just, it can change the whole dynamic of a lineup. So
Yep.
if I had to pick any catcher to be on my team, I'd pick him directly just because catchers tend to struggle hitting. He's like a 3-4 guy that you can throw in your
Yeah.
lineup, and it's just
Yep.
like he's gonna change the whole dynamic. So that's why I have him at 1.
I remember you were high on him.
Adley Rutschman at number 2. I mean, what he's done for the Orioles organization, it's like unbelievable. He came up as a rookie and just took that team from last place to being one of the top teams in the division in a very tough AL East. So I got to give my respect to Adley Rutschman. Number 3, someone that wasn't on your list, Teddy, which I'm a little surprised, but I know he's getting a little old. Salvador Perez.
Yeah, he was number 6.
For me, this guy, he's just every year he comes up in tough situations. It just seems like he gets that clutch hit, taking the Royals over the top. Always helps them get to the playoffs, and is always teaching these young guys how to play. So I mean, that's the reason why I got to have him at number 3. Number 4, I have JT Realmuto. I mean, he's a stud all the way back to when they were in the playoffs until I think it was 2022.
Yep.
I believe, where they had a nice run. They had a nice run to the.
That's when they went to the World Series.
They went to the World Series with them, yeah.
Yep. Versus the Astros.
Yep. Back to that. I mean, he's just a dog. And then I got Yainer Diaz at my number 5 spot.
Okay.
Wow. So you don't have Will Smith or Contreras in your top 5.
Contreras was definitely in my mind. But I like what Yainer Diaz is bringing to the table, and he's so young that I think he's going to be on the tear this upcoming year.
Yeah.
So
don't hate it.
Keep your eyes out for him, man. I'm telling you, keep your eyes out for him. I think he's going to do a good job this year. So,
hey, look, I didn't say that you were absolutely wrong for not having those 2 guys on your list. I was just shocked. That's all. That's just. I got at least one of those guys on my list. Let you know my list. So my top 5. I'm gonna go from 5 up. So 5, I have Yainer Diaz. I have him up there. I love what he did last year. As much as we like to talk bad about Houston and how much we don't like them, we want them to continue to lose and everything. He was definitely a bright spot for them. So I think that's going to continue this season. He's definitely one of the better young catchers in the league, and I think he's going to continue to be that. At 4, I have Will Smith. I have Will Smith at 4. I mean, look at what he did. Look at what he did with, what? Come on, man. Come on, man.
My boy Ty coming in with the comment, Braves greater than the Red Sox.
Whatever.
Hey, Braves used to play in Boston, Tyrone. Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm. Remember where you come from.
Yeah,
remember where you come from. But yeah, I have Will Smith at 4. I mean, we all know what he did with the Dodgers, and Teddy, you already talked about what a tremendous thing he did, having to hit behind all of those guys, Mookie Betts and Ohtani. So he did an awesome job to be able to hit behind those guys. At 3, I have JT Realmuto. I have him at 3. I mean, he did a great job for the Phillies last year, and I think that's just going to continue. With Bryce Harper on his team and a lot of those other guys, was it Trey Turner? This team is going to be good, and I think he's going to continue to help these guys out. And 2, it didn't 2 and 1. I didn't really switch up from what I saw on the top 10 catchers list. That list that was just about butchered because it didn't. There's a lot of people on there that didn't belong, and people that belonged that weren't up there. So I get it. But
just as long as you don't say Alejandro Kirk, I'm good.
yeah, he wouldn't have made my top 10. Just be honest about that one. But I have Adley Rutschman for Baltimore at 2 and William Contreras at 1. So 1 and 2 pretty much stayed the same for me from what I saw on that list. Adley Rutschman, man, I know Mookie Betts is my favorite player, and I like Ellie De La Cruz. I know we'll be talking about his position later, but one of the people that I like to watch play, honestly, is Adley Rutschman. He just plays a great game, and he's a really good defensive catcher as well. So I just like to see what he does. And William Contreras, I mean, his game speaks for itself.
Yep. You got Ty giving his rankings. He's got Contreras at 1, Raleigh at 2. We'll see what else he comes up with. Now we go to first base. Austin Wells at 3. I mean, he was top 3 rookie of the year, so he's doing something right. The dude couldn't catch when he first came up in the league. He was bad, like really bad. But he led the team to the World Series last year. They say the catcher is the what? All right. Don't you worry. We will be talking about a season bet later on. We will be, both of you.
I'm fine with that.
But actually, Jovan, not yet. Jovan, not yet, dude. Jovan, not yet. Jovan got to pay up first. I need my Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I can't defend you on that one, Jovan. I'm sorry. I apologize. I can't defend you on that one. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear what he said. What did he say?
He said you owe him a jersey.
Oh yeah, I do.
So no bets for you until you get his jersey. I say I can't defend that.
That's true. That's facts. I'll give him that.
So now we go over to first base. Get us started over here at first, Jovan.
I can't hear Teddy right now.
First base.
My go?
Yeah.
It's on you, my boy.
All right. So first base. At number 1, I got Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Just love the guy's bat. Absolute monster. Hits tanks. And I think once he gets out of Toronto, we're going to really see this guy in his prime. If we can just be honest, Toronto sucks, man. And
I do.
The fact that they weren't willing to give this guy whatever he wanted for money is like you went after Ohtani, you went after Soto with all this money, but you have a guy like Vladimir Guerrero who's a generational talent right on your team, and he told you his number, and you didn't just say, just sign the check. Whatever you want.
They gave Santander the bag too.
Yeah, they give Santander. And you're not going to get free agents to sign with you for Anthony Santander. I'm sorry. You keep a guy like Vladdy around for another 5 years, 6 years, guys will sign there. But, I mean, I just don't understand. Toronto's probably going to have to go through a rebuild, especially understanding that, Bo Bichette's going on his walk year. Vladdy's on his walk year. I was surprised they got Jimenez over there at second. But,
Dude,
I
that
mean,
was
we'll
huge.
see what happens. For my second choice at first base is Freddie Freeman.
Okay.
His glove is unbelievable, and he just hits for average, hits for bombs, whatever you need, he got you.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, you just gotta respect him. You gotta respect
Yeah.
his game.
Yep.
You know. Number 3, I got Bryce Harper.
Bryce
He's a
Harper.
beast.
The
Bryce Harper,
Hopper.
kid. Bryce
The
Harper. Dude,
Hopper.
he hits bombs. He hits bombs. And not only that, he's a hard worker. He just, all he knows is baseball. He's a baseball addict. I love that about him. And I like the way he plays the game. I hope he hits more home runs this year because last year I feel like he could have hit some more, but
He was
it
hurt.
is what it is.
He was hurt.
Yeah. Number 4, I got Matt Olson.
Okay.
And then 5 is going to probably throw everyone off their rocker. I bet you guys don't have this guy on your list. But I got my boy Josh Naylor.
Whoa.
5. Yes.
Rock the cradle, huh?
Yes, sir, dude. I just love that dude, man. And I think his change of scenery is going to be awesome for him being in Arizona. I think he's going to fit in well. With Christian Walker gone, him going over there, I think he's going to have some time to shine. And we'll see. We'll see. I know it's going to be a little bit different than it's kind of similar. When you look at the two teams being the Guardians and the Diamondbacks, kind of like what their fans are like and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be an easy transition for him.
Yep.
I think Christian Walker might have a tougher time in Houston, but we'll see.
Higher expectations in Houston.
Always, yep. Sure. Look at Jose Abreu when he signed there. He struggled like crazy.
Man.
All right, so my top 5. At 1, I have Bryce Harper. I think Bryce Harper is the best first baseman in baseball. I've thought that for a while, and that's not going to change after what happened last season. I understand that he did have some injuries and he missed some time, but I still think when healthy, he's the best first baseman in baseball. At 2, Vladdy. I mean, Jovan, you pretty much explained everything. He's a generational talent. He's a franchise chasing player. Someone like that, you would want to make sure you submit to your franchise for a very long time. You don't let a guy like that walk. You don't let that guy, complain about not feeling like he's worth something. So someone like that, yes, he's the only attraction you have in Toronto right now. He's gone, then you can expect your tickets sales to go down. A lot of stuff is going to go down if that guy is not there next season or after that. So you better find a way to give him his contract because
come to Boston, baby.
I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of teams at his door if he asks for a trade or if he's a free agent. I can guarantee you that right now.
He's going to test free agency. You already said it. And he's going to talk to all 30 teams. And I guarantee you the Blue Jays are number 30.
Exactly. Gotta be. At 3, I have Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, I mean, we saw what he did in the playoffs. We saw what he did in the World Series. Although he is, he's in that older stage of his career, he still will he can still show you that, hey, I'm still one of the best first basemen in baseball. Doesn't matter how old I am. It doesn't matter any of that. And I understand he's coming in with some injury issues to start the season a little bit, but that ain't gonna matter. I still think he's the third best first baseman in baseball. At 4, I have Matt Olson, and 5, I have Christian Walker. I have Christian Walker at 5. I think a new scenery for Christian Walker is also going to help him because he's there with some championship level guys. Of course, you know why I do that. But there's still some guys in that team that has won a World Series title, whether it was they cheated or not. Doesn't matter.
With a trash can or not, if you don't know.
And but I still think Christian Walker can show that he is still worth what he got for the contract to go to Houston. And Matt Olson is just, he's Matt Olson. There's some guys who you can name and you can just like, man, the name just says it itself. And Matt Olson's play just proves it every single time he's out there. He just shows you that, hey, defensively, you ain't gonna have no issues out of me. He does not have a lot of errors when it comes to defensively. So he's one of the greatest defensive first basemen in baseball, and he can hit. Plain and simple.
With the best of them, he can hit.
Uh,
Of course,
You're
Ty.
biased.
Of
You're
course,
biased.
Ty.
We know
Of
you were going to
course.
put him at number one. You're biased. We get it.
So I got Freddie Freeman at 1. The dude is a baller. He goes out, does his job every single day, no matter what's going on with him, uh, on or off the field. Last year he was dealing with that ankle injury, which looked horrific. It looked like it completely snapped, and then for him to be able to fly and do all his pregame stuff and everything like that. I've heard the other Dodger teammates talking about him being a real like prep guy, and he does like every little thing to the T, like to the time. It's like, dude, at game is at 7. At 5:45, I'm doing this. At 5:48, I'm doing another thing. You know what I'm saying? So everything like that. Um, we got Bryce Harper at 2. Uh, TC saying everyone forgetting about Luis Arias. He's not top 5. He can hit. The dude can hit. But defensively, we're talking all around, right? And we will find out why one of the players aren't on my top 5 in another category because we're going all around,
I'd
right?
also consider Arias more of like a utility guy.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
Mhm.
super utility, can kind of play.
Yeah,
different
he's a Mookie Betts kind of a guy, but Mookie Betts is a much better defender than he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he doesn't play
Yep.
really outfield, but
Arias has no arm whatsoever.
I'm speaking this as in being a utility player because you could put
Yeah.
Mookie Betts anywhere and he'll
Yep.
fit well. That's almost the same thing with Luis. You could put him just about anywhere and he can more than likely fit well. And it's just that he's not as great defensively as Mookie Betts is.
And you think of first base, you think of power. You think of Arias, you think of singles. Like I can't put him top 5 in at the first base category, especially with the guys that we got. I got Harper at 2. Uh, he's he's my favorite player outside of the Yankees. He's been my favorite player for quite some time. I remember being in high school, getting the Sports Illustrated. He was on the cover. I was like, damn, this kid is my age. Like, and he's on Sports Illustrated. Came out of high school early, went the JUCO route, and then ended up getting drafted number 1 overall and just balled out. He's always been in the conversation of either Harper or Trout, and Harper has been able to stay on the field more consistently. That's why some people are starting to lean more towards Harper's side because Trout, he just can't stay on the field, which please, baseball gods, please help Mike Trout out this year. Please.
and
The
Trevor
whole
Story, please. Trevor Story as well.
No, Trevor
Trade
Story
him.
can stay. Trevor Story can
Trade
stay.
him. Trade him.
Such a hater.
Angels save Trout from himself. Just trade him
Yeah.
somewhere else because he ain't
Yeah.
gonna win nothing with y'all. He's
Well, this
With-
year,
with
the
the-
Angels looking much better this year.
Yep.
I will say that.
Yep. We'll definitely
We'll
talk
see.
about
Play a
him
different ball
in a
club.
few.
We'll see.
Yep.
We will see. Time will tell.
At number
and they
3,
moved him to right field too, which should be helpful.
huge. At number 3, I got Vladdy Jr., one of the top hitters in this league. Very good defensively as well. Starting his career at third base, he has a cannon of an arm. His glove can use a little bit of work, but you don't. That's why you put the guy at first base, right? To kind of hide that defensive mishap.
Or what most would say a defensive liability kind of sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Number 4, which is a guy that none of you guys put, and I'm kind of surprised. I'm gonna go with Pete Alonso, at number 4.
He's 6 for me. He's right
The
there.
dude-
He's at number 6 for me.
The dude was in the he was the top guy defensively in throws, like errors saved from his infielders. And so he's able to pick the ball, and as a first baseman, you got to be able to pick the ball. I know as an infielder, like whenever I mess up and dig it, I expect my first baseman to pick it. Like no matter what, I really don't care. Keep your head down and pick that ball, get the out. Because that error doesn't go on him, it goes on the thrower. So
Mhm.
and as fielders, we don't want errors. So it's huge for him to be able to save errors and runners on base. And what he does offensively, he's been one of the top guys in the league since he's came in. Number 5, I got Christian Walker. Um, he is gold lover. The dude can hit for power. He can hit for average. And then he hits for astronomical numbers against the Dodgers. So they should be glad that he's out of the division. Um, that rounds out the first baseman. Let's get started with the second baseman. Dave, what you got?
So for second baseman, dang, I'm looking at the wrong list. Second baseman, you're not gonna like me, Teddy, because you know who I'm putting in number 1. Jose Altuve.
Mm, he changed his position. He's a left fielder now.
He's a left fielder now.
Yeah. It's bad. It looks really bad, but he's a left fielder now. Like
It makes no sense.
it
It
looks
makes
really
no sense, dude.
I don't understand it at all. I don't understand it at all.
Well,
Like
he's absolved from my list. Good thing I have 6 or 7 guys that I have wrote down. So in that case, Ketel Marte is number 1. I got Ketel
Yep.
Marte number 1. Um, I mean, last year I think he was 5th on the list, 4th or 5th on the list last year, and he proved this year that you need to be talking about me as top 2.
Mhm.
He played great. He played great for Arizona, and I think he's going to continue this season. He was definitely one of the brightest spots on the Diamondbacks last season, and I think that's going to definitely continue this year. So I got him there. I got Marcus Semien at 2. I have Brendan Donovan at 3. I got Jazz Chisholm at 4.
Ooh,
Yeah, I got Jazz Chisholm at 4,
I
and
like that.
I have Brandon Lowe at 5.
Okay.
So those are my top 5 second baseman. I like Jazz Chisholm. He brings the energy with the Yankees. As much as
Oh
I
yeah.
don't like the Yankees, he brings the energy there. He brings that swagger. You know, it was something that you could tell that when he got there, he shifted the energy when he got there,
Oh yeah.
and that's something that was
100%.
very vital to them. And now he's there for a full season. I feel like it's just going to go up from there. And then for the Cardinals with Brendan Donovan, I think he played good last year as well. It's just everything else around him wasn't necessarily the greatest thing to go for the Cardinals last year, and it was more like a disappointing season for them, of course. But
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Big
but
time.
he was, he played pretty well. That's the one thing about baseball. Baseball, you can have someone who has a bad team, but they are awesome, and you're gonna talk about them all the time because you can be an MVP and your team be trash. It's just you played phenomenal. So, but that's my list for second baseman.
All right. I got Ketel Marte at number 1. He balled out last year and being in the MVP talk, leading that team in the leadoff spot, or he was hitting in the 2 hole. It would change every day. It was him or Corbin Carroll. Um, and at 2, I got Marcus Simeon. At 3, I have Ozzy Albies. Last year he was hurt, but the kid can ball. Switch hitter, very good defensively. Um, I really like the way he plays the game. And then at number 4, I have he switched his position this year because his team got a new guy, but Tyler Fitzgerald bursted onto the scene last year,
For the
started
Giants.
hitting, yep,
Mhm.
started hitting bombs, and now he switched over to second base from shortstop. I think that middle infield is going to be very good this year for the Giants. And then at 5, got my guy Jazz.
Mhm.
Got my guy Jazz, man. Like you said, Dave, the energy shifted when he came in. First game was against the Red Sox. He came in, backwards hat, lime green belt, shirt untucked, grills in his teeth, like everything that's not the Yankees. He came in, he showed that I'm gonna be Jazz Chisholm, and he came out and balled, and I'm really excited to see a full season of him at Yankee Stadium and playing up the middle with Anthony Volpe, which is one of my guys. I've been a very big fan of Anthony Volpe, his entire career. Um, who you got, Jovan?
So for second base, I mean, unanimous decision. We got Ketel Marte at number
Kid,
one.
kid's gross.
Mhm.
Um, Number two, I got Marcus Simeon. Number three, I have Ozzy Albies. Number four, I have Jazz Chisholm.
Mm,
And then number five, someone that was on no one's list,
I
Nico
think I
Horner.
know. Ooh, okay, okay. I didn't put him on
Sleeper.
my list. I didn't put him on my list because he's starting the year on the IL. But
He should be
that
good in a
kid's
week or two, though.
Yeah, that was the reason why I left Ozzy off mine, is because the guy he wasn't necessarily available last year. That's the reason why he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't on mine. But there's no question of what he could do. Don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong. He definitely, if we talking about talent wise, top five for sure. But
Yep,
I'm just going off of what happened last year and going into this season.
Yeah.
yeah. Now we go to my position, shortstop. Number one,
Ooh.
number one, we are going Mr. Smile himself with the New York Mets, Francisco Lindor. He's got the swag. He's got the confidence. Plays in New York. He he's got that aura. You know what I mean? Um, when they won in the NLDS, he was doing a press conference on ESPN, and then he was like, "Yo, guys, I gotta go celebrate with my guys." And then he just started going crazy. It just reminded me of when I won my men's league championship, and I pretty much did the same thing. I went crazy. So he's always been one of my favorite players in the league, and him being Puerto Rican definitely helps out. Number two, I've got Bobby Witt Jr. Kid's gross. The kid is gross. He does it all. Was top two in MVP talks last year. If Judge didn't have the crazy season that he had last year, he definitely would have won it. He's got incredible range. The thing with him, he needs to work on his accuracy. But other than that, the kid can do it all. He can hit for power. He can steal a couple bases. He's just all Braves. That's he's doing
I see it. I
it.
see it. I see it. Sorry,
um,
bro. You're cooked.
Definitely
uh,
could. Hey, put the drinks down, Ty. Put the
Bryce
drinks
Harper.
down.
Bryce Harper has entered the chat. RC. All right. And then at number three, I got one of the most electrifying players in the entire league, Ellie De La Cruz. Um, the kid is he's fun to watch, dude. He can hit from both sides, and again, he's a 5 tool player. But again, with him, he's got to work on his accuracy. He led the league in errors from shortstop last year. Him and O'Neal Cruz were the top guys in that spot, and O'Neal Cruz ended up making the switch to center field
Mhm.
because of the errors. They were really hurting his team. And with Terry Francona coming in to manage that Reds team this year, I think he's really going to help him. And he's starting to become one of those faces of the league, right? He just got on the cover of the show with
Yep.
Skeens and Henderson.
Hmm.
He's been doing a bunch of like commercials and all that stuff. So he's a Dominican that's speaking English, and he's doing it pretty well. It goes to show that he's taking his time to understand the language and be able to communicate with people without having a guy next to him saying this is what he said. So there's not that thing of like Rafael Devers this year with the whole third base situation where something gets misinterpreted and Devers goes out to be the bad guy when he really didn't say what he said. Um, so that's huge. I think all international players, whether it's Japan, China, any Latin America country, you gotta learn how to speak English. It'll really help you out with your brand the most, and that's really why De La Cruz is starting to become one of these faces of the league because everyone can relate to him. You know, everyone wants to be a shortstop. Everyone wants to be the dude's a freak. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Ty, you
Can we
need
can,
you
can
need to you
we
need to go
put
to
him in
bed.
we are
You
putting
need to
him
go
in
to
the
bed,
dog
bro.
we're putting him in the doghouse now.
Yo,
Right
Ty,
now. You are
you
in
need
the
to stop.
doghouse, sir.
I'm
You
with
need
you,
to
You are
Ty.
in
I'm
the
stop,
with you
bro.
on
doghouse
that
and
one,
you are
Ty.
not
Yeah,
coming out.
no. You need to
I'm with you
stop.
with that one, Ty.
No, you need
Oh
to
my
stop.
Yankee
god.
suck. Yankee
Oh
suck.
my god.
Then
Wow.
at number 4, we got Gunnar Henderson. The reason why Gunnar Henderson is so low on this list, he was on pace at one time for 50 home runs last year, and he didn't even end up with 40.
Mm.
He had no hits in the playoffs. It's a big reason why they flopped in the playoffs, right? They were expecting a lot from him. It was a series between Bobby Witt and Henderson. Bobby Witt went out and did his thing. Henderson did not do anything. But defensively, he can play. He can play with the best of them. Got on the cover of the show this year, so congrats to him for that. And then at number 5, I'm going Willie Adames. Just got the bag from the Giants. I think that's going to be a good infield, a good middle infield. To the right of him, he's got Matt Chapman, which is a guy that I'm surprised that nobody put a. Well, we haven't gone over that yet, but
I'm sorry you'll be surprised and we ain't gonna
yeah.
go we ain't talk about him next.
But yeah, Willie Adames, I feel like that change of scenery is going to be good for him. Um, he went out and played extremely well offensively last year, and he can go get it with the best of them. He did lead the league in errors at shortstop, but he's I think he's gonna do pretty well, and he's a good person. I've been hearing stories about him. There's this fan out in spring training. He had his jersey, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a big fan," but it was a Brewers jersey, and he was like, "Oh, I'll give you a bat if you go get a Giants jersey." A couple innings later, the kid ended up with a bat and a Willie Adames jersey. So you always like to see the guys give back to the kids and get younger guys involved in the game. So that's huge. And playing in San Francisco in that division, NL West, it's going to be tough going up against the Dodgers. And for them offensively, he's going to help out a lot, a lot. Who you
I
got,
just want to
Javon?
say shout out to Buster Posey for closing that deal.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
I mean, pulling him from the Brewers must have been pretty tough.
Giant
Oh yeah.
legend.
And you got it
Giant
done.
legend.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Who you got at short, Javon?
Shortstop. I love shortstops, man. I really do. They're like my favorite players on the field.
They're your best friend.
Um, number one, yeah, facts. Number one, I got Bobby Witt Jr.
Ooh, okay. I like
Had
it.
to, dude. He's just too smooth.
Yep.
It's not often I'm scared of the Royals, and once this kid started joining
Yes.
that team, I'm like, damn, this team is actually pretty nice.
Yep.
Um, I mean, the kid's a dog. You got Salvador Perez, the catcher. Them two on the same team, anything can happen. They can definitely pull out some wins. Number 2, I went with Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, this dude is just a video game, man.
Yeah.
He's a video game. This
He is.
dude, 100 miles per hour across the diamond, fast as lightning, up the bags. I think the reason why he makes so many errors is he's getting to so many balls that normal guys aren't getting to.
Yep.
So once you get that glove on that ball and you don't make the play, it's an error. But there's a lot of balls that, I mean, normal people aren't getting to it. There was a ball today that was hit off a pitcher, ricocheted off a pitcher.
That
He
play was
somehow
disgusting.
still made the play to throw the guy out at first base. I
Yep.
mean, he's just a freak of nature.
Yep.
And number 3, I went Francisco Lindor. What he did in the playoffs, I mean, it just shows he got that clutch factor that all 30 MLB teams are searching for. So, I mean, when you take in the account that he's a great person on and off the field, takes care of his family, his daughters, he's always family involved. And then number three, I mean, he just hustles. He's an example to how to play the game, show the game respect.
Yeah.
So that's why I love Francisco Lindor. I wish I could put him a little bit higher, but those two guys, their ceiling is so high for Bobby Witt and Ellie that I can't put him up there because his ceiling was already surpassed, I think, for being honest. Number four, I went with Gunnar Henderson from the Orioles. I mean, he's fun to watch. The dude hit some tanks. Just when he's hitting that ball to right field at the Orioles Stadium, Camden Yards, it's awesome.
Onto Utah Street.
Yeah, man, and he hits those little bricks, whatever,
Yep.
in right field, that little walkway. That's pretty dope. And then number five, I had a toss up in between two players, but I'm gonna go with the guy I originally wrote down before him. I had Corey Seager. Corey Seager at number five.
Smooth operator.
Willie Adames was the honorable mention for me.
Okay.
But, I mean, Corey Seager, just what sticks out to me is that World Series he's had. I think last year was a little bit of a hangover for him after the World Series, but I expect him to get back to where we usually see him at, 160 games played, around that area, and just balling. So that's my shortstop list.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Why?
Man. Because there's someone on this list that neither one of y'all named. And y'all know he's my favorite player in baseball. So how does he not make the list?
He can't do it like these guys, dude. He can't do it like these guys, bro.
Whatever.
He can't do it like these guys. If he was an outfielder, I'll give it to you. He's up there.
I agree. Bobby Witt Jr. number one. That's my guy. I am very, very high on Bobby Witt Jr. I talked about him on my show multiple times. Bobby Witt Jr. is a dog. It don't matter. He was in the MVP conversation last year. There's no way I can't put him at number one. He, for me, is number one or 1A, 1B. That's it. I can't say two when it comes to Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. to me is the best shortstop in baseball. He's electric. He's quick. He can, whatever you need him to do, he can do it. He has a high, very, very high ceiling. And you're right. He's the only reason why I am scared of having to play against the Royals, because you don't know what's going to happen when he comes to the plate or defensively, because he's going to make a play. So he's definitely number one for me. Number two, Francisco Lindor. You guys named it. I don't think I need to explain anything more than what you guys have said about Francisco Lindor, one of the most clutchest players in baseball, and we saw that in the postseason. So Francisco Lindor, number two. At three, I also have Ellie De La Cruz right there at three. I think when I saw the list and to see him at 8, I was like, that's low. That's low. He is so fast that you have to continue to watch the plate when he's on base, because he can steal a base at any moment. He, to me, I believe he's the fastest base runner in baseball, because I don't know if anyone can stop him from stealing the base. It's almost impossible to stop him. At 4, Gunnar Henderson, of course. We've seen what he was capable of. He was what, top 6 last year. He definitely moves in the top 5 this year as far as a shortstop this year, because he was a third baseman last year and he moved to shortstop this year. And at 5, I mean, you already know. I said it. You know who number 5 is. It's Mookie Betts. Okay. It's Mookie Betts. I'm not gonna have my guy on this list. He's so great defensively that for me, it seems like no matter where you put him, he can make an impact. and we know how important he is to the Dodgers offense. The Dodgers offense hit all while he was injured last year, and that shows you exactly how important it was when he was out. And when he got back, it went right back to what it needed to be. It was like the missing pieces back. He was the missing piece of that puzzle, man. And when he came back, he helped lead the charge in those guys. And even though he didn't hit well in the World Series, he made enough plays and put the team. I'm sorry, Teddy. It's just I got to bring it up when it comes to Mookie at least. So
whatever.
I have to reward him for that, man. I just think he's so vital for the Dodgers and so important that no matter where you place him, other than catcher, of course, I don't think he would be a great catcher. It don't look right to have Mookie as the catcher, but yeah, man. I think he can be a phenomenal shortstop, and I think he'll show that this season.
I hope he can gain some weight back because he got really sick, dude.
He did. That's one thing. Definitely continue to get well soon, Mookie. Just know that you my guy. You my guy for sure. So get well soon. Man.
Yeah, he lost 15 pounds in like a week when they were over there.
He looks sick, dude. He looks really sick. Looks like it was hurting to walk.
Yeah. Him walking off the field, it would look like every step was like he was in pain.
Yeah. Not good.
Definitely. So we go over to third base. Dave, you start us off here.
Third base. Rafael Devers.
Ew.
Let's go, Dave. Attaboy.
Rafael Devers.
Dude's not even going to touch. What?
Is there?
Number one.
No, I'm joking. I'm trolling.
What?
I'm trolling. I wanted to see Teddy's face when I said that. I knew I was like,
I was about to say, bro, because he's.
But no, I'm not gonna put him at number one. I have to be honest. Defensively, he is now one of the best third basemen in baseball. I'm sorry, he's just not. That's where he lacks at. That's the thing that he needs to improve the most. Now he's not horrible defensively, but a lot of those errors that happened last year, he was definitely one of the biggest reasons why that happened. So I have to hold his feet to the fire on that. So I don't have him number one. Who I have as number one is actually the person that's going to replace him at third baseman in Boston. That's Alex Bregman.
Whoa.
I have Alex Bregman at number one as the number one third baseman in baseball.
Wow.
He, to me,
it's a bold take, Dave.
Is a
huge take right here, Dave.
Huge. I think him being a third baseman for the Red Sox is going to help this team defensively tremendously, because I'm being honest. I don't want Devers at third baseman. I would rather have him somewhere else as a designated hitter, honestly. If I'm being honest, I would rather him be a designated hitter than be a third baseman. I think that belongs to Alex Bregman, because that's his forte, man. He just want to go glove.
Finally, which was disrespectful, by the way. All the years that he's been balling.
Yeah, he's been balling for a long time, and I think now he's going to be like, okay, now I'm with a franchise that you can see has won something in a while. So I'm gonna show you why I'm one of the best third baseman in baseball. So
they drafted him out of high school too.
Yeah. Yep. So 2, Jose Ramirez, for the Guardians. I think he's really good at what he does. I can't really knock him for what I can't knock him for anything. I just think he's a really good third baseman. At 3, I have Manny Machado for the Padres. I have him at 3. I got Austin Riley at 4, and I got Matt Chapman at 5. So Matt Chapman definitely made my list. I saw what he was doing with the Giants, man, and I got to reward him for that. So I think he needs to be talked about more, honestly. I think Matt Chapman is one of the few third basemen in the league that I feel is underrated, because he's really, really, really good.
the reason why you feel that is because he starts off so hot and then he just fizzles out every year.
Yeah.
April, May, June, he's one of the best hitters in the entire league, and then he just hits this wall where he just starts hitting like 250,
Yeah.
and that's why.
Also,
But defensively, he's disgusting. Like the
yeah,
fact that in high school it was Nolan Arenado and Matt Chapman on the same team,
it's
Crazy.
you
cheating.
can't get anything by them.
Cheating.
Both platinum gold glove winners.
It's cheating.
It was I would have loved to be a pitcher and get guys to roll over on that team.
Yeah, but I had Nolan and Max Muncy were right there at 6 and 7 for me. So those two guys were close to being in the top 5 as well.
Okay. Yeah, Jovan, what you got?
For third base, I got some wild takes, but
I mean,
I'm
mine's is
taking.
pretty wild. So let's see where you go.
All right. So at number one, I have Jose Ramirez. Number two is where it gets a little funky. I do have my boy Rafael Devers at number two.
Oh
I
my
have him at
gosh!
number two. Just the fact that,
As a hitter, don't get me wrong. As a hitter, he's amazing.
but
It's
what
just
position does he
defensively,
play?
I can't
He's
put him
a
at
hitter. He's one of the best hitters in the whole game. He
put him at DH.
he's. I mean, we're gonna have to if Bregman wins this race after opening day, which it looks like it's gonna happen because of his shoulder issues this season so far.
Has Devers played defense at all this spring?
He's played third
No.
base on like this past Saturday.
Okay.
But other than that, Bregman's been playing third base every game, so I think
Okay.
it's gonna at least start the season
Yep.
with Bregman at third and Devers DHing because he has inflammation in his shoulder supposedly.
He was dealing with
Um,
that all year last year too.
yeah, and
Mhm.
he's had back issues and stuff too. His swing though looks beautiful as ever, dude.
It's that stomach,
Um,
dude. It's the stomach. It's in the way, dude.
but dude, his
Boy,
swing is
he got them
nasty.
Joel Embiid issues.
I got him at number two for sure. I got him at number two for sure. I wouldn't want anybody else in that lineup than Rafael Devers. I mean, if I look the way I look at the way I'm picking, just to clarify, by the way, is if I was drafting a team, who would I pick at third base? So
Okay.
my first choice would be Jose Ramirez.
Makes
My
sense.
second choice would be Rafael Devers. My third choice would be Manny Machado. Manny Machado, I just love the way the dude plays. He's kind of a jerk off the field, like even on the field, he's just
Yeah.
he's a pest.
Big time.
Don't know how he is off the field actually, but just from the way I watch him play, I don't think he'd be that nice of a guy. But who knows? At number four, I got Alex Bregman, and then at number five, I went Nolan Arenado.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, sir.
I love Nolan. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I wish he was with the Red Sox as well. But
He needs.
Well, you
he
want
needs
all
to
the
get
third
out of-
basemans in the league on one team?
right?
I'm
Like
just saying.
legit.
I'm
Like
just saying.
you got to figure it out. You can only play
Right.
one and third.
It's all right.
I'm hoping
If that
to
happens,
see.
look. If that happens, we just put Alex Bregman at 2, put Nolan at 3. It'll work out.
I'm hoping to see Bregman play some second base this year. But I mean, Christian Campbell is supposed to be the next best thing. But I'm really not seeing it just from the spring training. I'm like, I want him to play great and do his thing, but the hitting is just not there yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Defensively, he can field. He's got a good
Yeah.
glove.
Yeah.
And Marcelo
Got a good
Meyer, Marcelo Meyer has fit the mold better than Christian Campbell at second base.
Okay.
If we're being honest about the spring training and who's performed so far, I would have to go Marcelo Meyer over Christian Campbell. But I would like to see Alex Bregman play some second base. We
Okay.
lose Dave?
Yeah, he'll be right back.
I bet.
All right. I will give you my third base list. Shocker, Devers is not on it.
Well, I'm not shocked by that. I'm sure DJ LeMahieu is, though.
Oh no, that dude is washed. He needs to be off the Yankees.
Yeah.
In all honesty, because he's washed. It's bad. It looks really bad in the spring. He went up against some minor leaguers and he looked like a JV guy facing a varsity guy. It looked really bad. Like
Damn.
it was terrible, dude. And then he he said he was healthy, and then he played one game and he exited in the third inning with a calf strain or something like that. So he's washed.
Yeah.
As much as I want him to go out there and be that hitting leader that he was when we got him, but I think it's just time. Father Time is undefeated. You know.
Yes, that's facts.
Um, I'll go 5-1. I went Austin Riley at number 5. He can pick it, and he can hit. That Austin Riley, man, he can hit. Um, Number 4, I went Alex Bregman. Always been one of my favorite players. One of my favorite college team, LSU. He came up as a shortstop. So for him to go over to second base, it would not be any problem for him, I don't think. With me being a shortstop as well, when I went over to second, it was an easy transition, even third. But I mean, Bregman, the dude, I feel like he's going to have the best offensive season that he's had in his career. He has crazy numbers at Fenway if you look him up as an opponent. I actually went to a Astros Red Sox game and he went deep onto Causeway. So I expect to see a lot of that in the baseball chat. I expect to hear about it on the radio and all that stuff when I'm driving around. And like I said, man, it sucks that I have to hate him. It sucks that I have to hate him now because he's wearing the uniform that he's wearing because he's always been one of my favorite players. And even with that Astro scandal, I had to hate him, but I was like, dude, it's Alex Bregman. Like I've loved this guy forever, so I can't just be like whatever like I do with Altuve. Like
Yeah,
Hmm.
we all have that same feeling. Carl is like that. What he was like that with Jimmy when Jimmy was with the Miami Heat, and
yeah,
I'm like that with Jason Tatum because he's with the Boston Celtics. But yeah,
yeah,
that's
but
just how it is sometimes.
Jason Tatum got one of them things, a ring.
Okay, does he have an MVP Finals like
Oh man, we're not doing
trophy?
this, all right? Pat Riley's still asleep. 9-game losing streak.
Man, he
Tyler
needs to
Heroes.
retire.
Tyler
He
Hero.
don't want
Tyler
to.
Hero sucks. All right, we got
That's
number 3 number 3 on the list. we got Manny Machado. One of the best fielders at third base. One of the best fielders in the league. Um, he's got one of the best gloves, one of the strongest arms. I'll never forget that play he made at Yankee Stadium when he went the backhand. It hit off his glove. He went into foul territory where like the third base coach's box was, and threw it like this and dart to first base to get the guy out. And I've always been a fan of his, even though he was always playing against the Yankees. When he came up with the Orioles, he was a little bit of a jerk. He still is. He does the dirty slides, and he had that incident where he stepped on the guy's leg. So I mean, he's got some character issues, but as a ball player, he's one of the best. Um, at second base, I'm going Matt Chapman. Um, one the if you're looking at glove wise, the only guy that I would take over Manny Machado is probably Matt Chapman. The plays that I've seen Matt Chapman make is just ridiculous. You can say the same about Nolan, but Nolan has fallen off defensively. I mean, offensively. So that's why he's not in my top 5. But he was definitely number 6, 7 around there. And number 1, Jose Ramirez. The dude went out and went 40-40 last year, and nobody talked about it because Otani went 50-70. Like, dude, Jose Ramirez isn't even fast. And for him to be able to steal 40 bases while hitting 40 home runs and being the leader of that ball club, it's ridiculous,
Hmm.
right? It's huge for that team. I recently saw something on Instagram where his agent said that he turned down 250 mil to go to the Padres in 2022. And that was the year that they had Soto. So imagine that team. That team would have been ridiculous. And the reason why he stayed in Cleveland was because his family was comfortable. He loved the team. He loved the fans. He loved the environment. He didn't want to leave it. So it's that to me spoke volume right there. For him to be able to, like, yeah, you want to make extra money in your career, but for you to build that legacy,
$100 million more.
yeah,
To turn down
like
100 million is crazy.
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I
And
don't think I'd have done it. I don't think I'd have turned that down. I don't
I
think I'd
mean,
have turned that
And
down.
to go to San Diego, one of the nicest areas in the
I don't think
world,
I'd have turned that down.
and that
250
team,
mil?
to stay in
and
Ohio.
that team would have been with Machado, Tatis, Soto. Like that lineup
Bogarts
would
got
have
signed that
been
year too.
disgusting. Like
Hmm.
straight up, I would have put Jose Ramirez at third, Machado at short, uh, Bogarts at second, and then you continue to have Tatis in right field,
Hmm.
and then figure out everything else because you can just be average everywhere else. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Like that team would have been absolutely gross, and they would have lived up to the expectations that they made for themselves when they go out there and say, "Oh, we're gonna do this," and the parade and all this, and the fans doing those whack songs like, "Oh,
Those are funny, dude.
that's what's in." Terrible, just terrible.
You gotta put a huge pause on that. Like, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa, pause. Hold up. Chill with the song.
oh man, yeah, dude. But yeah, that's my top five at third. Let's go to the outfield position where we go top 10 because there's so many outfielders, right? We're not basing it off of left field, center field, right field. We're just collectively putting them together as a top 10. Dave, start us off.
Mm. See, I got you got to come back to me because remember I told you I had all five written out for
Okay.
this position. So just come back to me.
All right, Jovan, what do you got?
So I do have five, but I mean I'm a baseball guy. I can figure it out. So
I mean,
I
I'm
got
not
Aaron Judge at one.
so
Oh, no
I don't
shots
take.
fired at you, Dave. No,
I
no shots
know
fired at you,
it
bro.
just
My
it
bad.
just
I didn't mean that.
a little bit. Felt like it a little bit.
I did not mean
He
to
said, I'm the
confuse
baseball
shots.
guy. I was like, well, excuse me.
My bad. No shots fired, bro. You're a baseball guy. I consider you a baseball guy.
That's for not feeding them. That's for not feeding them in the doghouse.
Yeah, that's for leaving me without no water.
It's not my fault. It's his fault.
fault.
I'm not the one that put him in there. It's you. You did that.
Yo, Teddy will be happy with my list though. Just based off number one.
The cap.
I went with Aaron Judge, number one.
All rise.
Mm-hmm. Number two, I went with Kyle Tucker.
Whoa.
Yep.
I like it though. I like it. I like it.
Number three, I went with Trout.
Yes.
Number four, I went with Juan Soto.
Okay.
Number five, I went Tatis Jr.
Hmm.
Number six, I'll have to go. I mean, I want to go Mookie, but they got him at short. But let's leave him like on it, but off of it. So he'll be my six. He'll be my six.
Okay.
Seven, I'll go Merrill, Jackson Merrill.
Ooh. That kid can play.
Number eight, I'll have to go Churio.
Wow. Okay.
He's a dog.
He is.
Number nine, I'm gonna go with my boy Duran, dude. I'm gonna go Jarren Duran at nine.
Whoa. Whoa.
Is
Okay.
there? And
Okay.
then number 10, let's go Jordan Alvarez.
Wow. There's some guys that you left off that I am shocked that you left off, dude.
It's probably
Wow.
because I added Churio and Merrill to it. That's
I
probably
am
why.
too. I'm
Remember,
shocked
the
Wow.
last
too.
five are off the top of my head. So
Yeah, you definitely forgot a guy out in the Northwest, I'll tell you that.
put me on. Put me on.
All right, so I'll go from 10 to 1. I got Stephen Kwan as number 10.
Oh, I
Okay.
like that.
The
Mhm.
kid is consistent at the plate, plays great defense. Number 9, Teoscar Hernandez.
Mhm.
Uh, him moving over to right field this year, it's going to be huge for the team. Number 8, Anthony Santander. Switch hitter, bringing
45 home runs.
yep,
40
bringing some
plus, probably.
protection for Vladdy in that lineup. Number 7, I got Kyle Tucker, one of the most underrated superstars in the league because of who he played with for the first half of his career. The beginning of his career with the Astros, right? Playing with Altuve, Bregman. You had Alvarez. Uh, you had Correa at a time. So he didn't really get talked about. And that kid's a stud. Number 6, Ronald Acuna Jr. Uh, coming
Gotta
off
drop that one.
of
He was injured. He was injured. Give me a break, all right?
I know, but
I understood that.
so was your number 3 guy. So was your number 3 guy.
That's true.
So
That's true. I did add Trout. I gotta add Cunha. You're right.
yeah, this kid, he's you want to talk about electric. This kid's electric, right? Um, when his last fully healthy season, he went 40-70
Yeah, unbelievable.
MVP. I mean, and I saw something where he's not going to be stealing that many bases this year because he wants to stay healthy for the entire season. He's supposed to be coming back in like mid June, July range around there. So that
Mhm.
would be good for him to completely come back healthy and for that lineup. Number 4, number 5, I got the guy you forgot, Julio Rodriguez from the
Ooh, J
Mariners.
Rod.
He he can go get it. That kid's a freak, and
He
he's
is.
got some swag to him.
He needs to start the year off hot, dude. He always has a slow beginning,
He
slow
does.
start.
He does. Yep. Yep. Completely agree with that. Number 4, I got Juan Soto. The reason why he's not top 3, because we're going all around. Again, he's kind of a liability on defense. And I'm not just saying that because he switched over teams. Like I know the people in the comments are gonna come at me. Oh, it's because he left the Yankees. No, because I was saying it even when he got nominated for Gold Glove. Like yeah, everybody came up with those compilation videos of him doing like some trash plays out in right field. I mean, he had some good ones, right? But the majority of them, he was getting bad
First game of the
reads.
year. First game of the
Yeah,
year, throwing that guy out at home.
exactly to win the game,
Yeah.
because that was the tying run. Um, But he's when you think of Juan Soto, you think of hitter, one of the best hitters in the game, one of the best eyes in the game. Control the
Potentially in our
zone.
history.
Yes, yes, definitely. Um, and then number 3, gotta go Mike Trout, man. It was completely disrespectful the for the top 100 list to come out and for him to be in the 30 range. There's not 30 baseball players better than Mike Trout. I don't care if he's healthy. I don't care if he's hurt. Mike Trout is a phenom. He's been a phenom his entire career. And when he's healthy, he's one of the top guys in this league. Like it really aggravated me to see him that low on that list. And I know he saw it. He said he saw it. So I'm waiting for him to come back and win AL Comeback Player of the Year. So if you got
Yep.
FanDuel, lock it in because he's gonna win it if he stays healthy. Um, Number 2, Tatis Jr., Platinum Glove winner. Uh, we were talking about electric ball players. This kid's got it. He's got the swag. He can hit for power. He can steal bags, throw people out, make crazy plays out in right field. Um, and he's just got that again that aura about him. He's one of the guys that can potentially be face of the league as well. Um, and
If he
then
didn't get caught with the steroids, dude, he would have
yes,
been.
yes,
He would have been the face of the league already.
100%. 100%. But too bad his barber's clippers were dirty. Um, is what his dad said. Like that's the most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my life. Um, number
Barbers.
one, crazy. Number one, we all know, all rise, Aaron Judge, freak. You can say what you want to say about him. He's going back to right field. Last year he played center field. I don't want to hear about the one error that he had. If you comment about it, uh, you will aggravate me. Okay, you will aggravate me. I'm gonna keep it as PG as possible on this show. Okay. Um. So I know it happened. I was there. I watched it. I freaked out. I still freak out about it. So I don't need to be reminded about it from the rest of the people. But for him to go out there, hit 50 plus home runs, 130 plus RBIs, and hit over three. It was like 315 or somewhere around there, or 320. After the April that he was getting booed in Yankee Stadium. One, they don't boo nobodies. Two, it's Aaron Judge. Like, I remember Jovan was on him, like white on rice. He was like, oh, this kid sucks. He can't hit, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, it's Aaron Judge. Relax. It's April, bro. And what does he do? Comes out and just balls for the rest of the season.
Until the playoffs got there.
Look, he
Facts.
hit his home run in Game 5. He hit a couple home runs. So I'm not gonna. He came up clutch when we needed him against the Guardians, off of the best closer in the game. So I don't want to hear it because while the Red Sox were at home drinking their dirty water, eating their Popeyes chicken, they were watching the Yankees on national television. I do not care if we lost. I don't care if we drew a tie. I don't care if you saw what you wanted to see. You were watching the New York Yankees in the biggest stage of the game. Red Sox fans, shut up. All right. I'll
I'm
talk
sorry.
to
I'm
you guys. I'll talk
sorry.
to you guys. I will
I'm
talk to you guys later when we do our divisional predictions. Until then, I am not going to talk about the Red Sox and where we stand in the division. Dave, what you got for the outfield? What you got?
all right. All right. All right. All right.
Teddy, close those worms as fast as you open them, man.
Exactly. So, at 1, unanimous, Aaron Judge. It's,
Yeah.
it's as much, like I said, I'm going to say this about every Yankee I talk about. As much as I don't like these guys, as much as I can't stand the Yankees, I have to acknowledge that Aaron Judge is the best outfielder in the game. Point blank, period. It's nothing you can. There's no argument to me. I don't think there's an argument to put anyone over top of him. I just think he's that great. The Judge, all rise. The captain, it's him. It's who he is. 2, I have Mike Trout at 2.
Like it.
I think Mike Trout is phenomenal. I mean, we saw the World Baseball Classic. We saw how important he was then. And we saw it came down to Ohtani versus Trout. And he was a swing away from having USA win the World Baseball Classic.
Captain America.
I mean, that's who he is.
Yep.
That's who he is. That's the other captain. But he's the captain of he gets me speechless talking about Mike Trout. That's how amazing he is. It's just unfortunate he's dealt with injuries. He's been on a team that just can't get anywhere. It's been very unfortunate. So I hope that you guys are right and hope that the Angels do something this season. But if not, please just trade him away. Give him to someone that's going to take care of him so he can have an opportunity to show his talent on the biggest scene, the biggest stage. So give him the opportunity. At 3, Fernando Tatis Jr. One of the best outfielders in the game. Electric. He deserves to be up there. got Juan Soto. I got Jordan Alvarez at 5. I have Kyle Tucker at 6. I have Ronald Acuna Jr. at 7. I had to put him on my list. I wasn't going to have a list without Ronald Acuna Jr. on there. At 8, I have Julio Rodriguez. At 9, I got Teoscar Hernandez. And at 10, I got my guy, Jarren Duran. I got him at 10. Got my boy up there in top 10. My boy, he's nice, Teddy. He nice, Teddy. I'm just letting you know.
He is. He's just not top 10.
He top 10 to me. He top 10 to me.
We'll
Top
see,
10
Teddy. We'll see.
You'll see this season. Trust me.
We don't
We
even
saw
know what
last season,
position he's
too.
playing. You don't even know what position he's playing.
He's playing left field. What are you talking about?
He's been center and left, right?
No,
That's
Rafael is going to be our center fielder.
That's bad. But
Yeah,
again,
He's like
we'll
Jackie
talk
Bradley
about that on the
reincarnated,
next
dude.
episode. We'll talk about that on the next episode.
I bet you will.
Today we're talking about top 5 rankings. That's all.
Mr. Aaron Judge messing up in the playoffs.
At least we were there, dude. At least we were there.
Hey, just know he wasn't all that in the playoffs.
You can keep singing your song, kid, and you know what song I'm talking about.
Don't worry, Dave. He's going to take that.
I ain't singing that song. I'm
trophy.
sorry. I'm not singing that song. You can't pay me to sing that song. After what I found out, you can't pay me to sing that song. Sorry.
I'm gonna be singing that song every single game.
And I'm going to question every single time.
Caroline, bum bum bum. Good times never seem so good. So good. So good. So good. Dave looking blind. Oh.
Yep. I can't see. I can't hear. Listen to that song.
Wow. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I know if we were on somewhere else that would have taken a left turn. But I'm glad you did what you did, Jovan. Appreciate you for that. But yeah, man, those are our top 5 at every position. I appreciate you guys that stuck through with us for the hour and a half that we were on. Again, make sure you like this video, share this video with any baseball fans that you may know. We are a week away from the start of the MLB season. I don't care what's going on in the NBA. Next Thursday, I will be talking about a New York Yankees win, and I can't wait. We open up the season against the Brewers.
How did I forget this guy? Huh? How did I forget that guy?
I don't know.
Acuna.
You had the drink in your hand and you weren't thinking straight.
Jeez, Louise.
You know, like Stephen A. say, stay off the weed, stay off the drinks.
Oh man.
Wow.
But yeah,
Teddy's off the Kool-Aid today.
it's a good Kool-Aid. But yeah, again, appreciate you guys for coming on. You guys got any last words for us today?
Go Red Sox. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
can say. Go Red Sox, baby. Let's
take
do
you back.
something. Let's do something this year. You shocked me this year, and you actually did you pulled some great moves in the offseason. So let's see that go into fruition this season. Let's make some changes, man.
Yes, sir. All I gotta say is thank you, Teddy, for having me on the show. Appreciate it. Shout out to the Refuse to Lose channel, Baseball with Teddy, all the other shows, especially my guy Dave with Dave's Doghouse. It's always a pleasure jumping on, talking baseball with all you guys. And I'm excited for the shows that Teddy will be having coming up this upcoming season. I'm sure I'll be lucky enough to be a guest on a couple of them. And yeah, I'm excited to keep talking baseball.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, Dave's Doghouse will have another R2L special in the next 7 episodes. So if you have some candidates already,
can't wait.
Go ahead and send them my way. And it's for sports and anyone in the R2L. So you let
We
me
already
know.
know. We already know one unanimous one. If you're in the refuse to lose community, we know a unanimous one. Unanimous, and his name
Is
rhymes with
with the
um.
DoorDash. That's what it rhymes
Yeah,
with.
yeah. D- Dolorious. That's what it rhymes with. All right. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's what it rhymes with. And if you don't know, you need to make sure you click the link, join the chats, so you know who I'm talking about, because this guy will drive you up the walls with his insane takes, and then he goes on another site and just goes crazy when his team loses, and he's just nowhere to be found in the chat. Don't be that
Mhm.
guy. Make sure when
Since they lost, he's been MIA. He was supposed to.
man,
He has a bet that he has owed. He still ain't paid that bet yet.
man, I've seen him on the other app going crazy, bro, going crazy on stuff that he shouldn't even be talking about. But that's him, right? I'm still waiting for my order. I need
We've
my
been waiting
order
for
to
our order for
DoorDash.
what, 2 years now, man.
Crazy, dude. It's like a negative
He,
rating
at this
now.
at this point, he owes 2 months of groceries.
Literally. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, again, appreciate you guys for coming on and talking the top five of each position. We'll definitely be on later on in the week before the season starts to give you our award predictions, Cy Young, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, all that, and also our division predictions as well. So I will definitely reach out to you guys. Always appreciate you guys coming on to the show and talking this beautiful game. Again, can't wait for next Thursday, 3 o'clock, of course, because of the Yankees, but it's the start of a great season. I know this year is going to be one of the best, right? Because there was a lot of moves that were done in the offseason, and I just can't wait to see what these guys do in their new homes. But again, guys, appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great night. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.